Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to my next blog post. My name is Alan Shisco, and I am a motion graphics artist. Today, we're going to take a look at something that I guess primarily is going to be concerned with folks that live in North America, specifically United States, Canada. Anybody that has an NTSC video system. What I'm going to be talking about is field orders. It's kind of a misunderstood and wrongly understood and confusing kind of a thing to have to deal with in After Effects. If you do have to deal with footage that is interlaced, that does have fields in it. It pays to know how to figure out exactly how to get rid of those fields when you've got when you're using it in a project in After Effects. Let's go straight over to After Effects here. There we go. Now what I did is I brought in a piece of video footage, and you can see if you look closely here, hopefully the compression isn't changing, but you can see there are little lines. Now I'm not going to describe exactly what fields are and everything like that. You could probably go to Wikipedia and search for, I don't know, fields or something like that. You'll probably get something with a whole bunch of grain or something in it. But anyway, that's besides the point. Fields in video is what we're dealing with here. Now, what you want to do when you do have footage in After Effects that is interlaced like this, when it's got these fields, you want to get rid of them. Now there are a bunch of reasons why. Primarily is that if you transform this video in your video project, or in your project, that is, if you were to take it and either scale it or move it or rotate it, these fields that you see here are really going to look really, really wacky in your final render if you don't de-interlace, okay? Now, probably most of you got a pretty good idea that when you bring footage in, you want to de-interlace it. Now, usually when you import footage, when you bring it in, the first thing that After Effects does is it tries to automatically de-interlace. It guesses, basically what it does. Generally speaking, most of the time, it's going to guess right. Like, for instance, if you bring in DV footage is lower field first. But you know what? There are exceptions all over the place. It depends on what captures the video, okay? You can have video that's upper field first. You can have video that's lower field first. To complicate matters even further, there are a bunch of different ways that you can talk about it. You can call it even odd. You can call it 0-1. You can call it upper lower. It gets really confusing. But here is, using After Effects, the surefire way to make sure that the footage that you're de-interlacing gets de-interlaced properly. Okay. Now, once you bring your footage into a composition, as I've done here, if I go through it, you can see that it's just chugging along, and we can see that the car is moving forward just like that. But in this composition window here, we are not looking at the individual fields, okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring up the Interpret Footage dialog box. You'll find that at here, the File menu, Interpret Footage Main. You'll see there's a keyboard shortcut associated with it, Control F. And we'll move that up here. And there's this little thing called Fields and Pull Down. Now, if I'd have brought this in and let After Effects automatically guess, it would come in and it would say that it's lower field first, okay? Let's just say for the sake of argument that I'm going to choose upper field first. Let's say it guessed wrong, or I brought it in and I de-interlaced it myself, and I chose upper field first, okay? I'm going to hit OK there, and immediately you can see that the footage seems to clean up a little bit. You don't see those fields anymore, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my footage again, after I click on the composition, that is. And you can see the car is still moving forward. But what we don't know is if we have chosen the proper field order to interpret with this footage. Now here's what you do, okay? To find out what the field order is, you want to click on your footage item and you want to double click on it. Okay, what that does is it opens up your footage in a footage viewer, and this is quite distinct from a composition view. Right now we're just looking at the footage. It looks a little bit different down here. We're just going to back it up a little bit here, okay? Now what we're going to do is side by side here, I'm just going to go frame by frame here, and remember I brought this in assuming I'm going to guess it's upper field first, and I did it. Watch what happens on this side, which is the composition side with the footage, and watch what happens on this side, which is what we're doing is just viewing the footage, okay? Here we go. We're going to go page down. What the heck is going on there? Do you see what's happening? In our footage side, it actually goes one step back, one step forward, one step back. Well, actually 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, okay, et cetera, et cetera. It looks like in our composition like it's going frame by frame, but what we're doing here is we're actually looking at both of the fields in the footage window and only one of the frame I should say, in the composition window, okay? Now you can see here on our footage window that like I say, it's going backwards and forwards. That means that we have the footage order wrong. Okay? What I'm going to do here is I'm going to select the menu item, Control F to bring it up again. I'm going to put it to lower field first. In this case, it is DV footage. I know that this is right, but let's see what happens now. I'm now going to go on page down just to go frame by frame. Watch what happens in the footage window here. Oh, I got to select the composition. Sorry about that. Every frame goes forward just as you expect it to go. And same thing over here in the composition window as well. Okay, so that is the little secret for you to do to determine if you're given footage and you don't know where it originated from and you want to check to make sure that the field order that you're interpreting is correct. That's what you do. You double click on it to bring it up into its own footage viewing window, and then you can take a look at the field. If it goes forward, 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 you've got the right interpretation. If it goes backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards. If it stutters, you've got the wrong interpretation. All you have to do is go into interpret footage box and change it to the other one. So there you go. A little less mystery when it comes to field interpretation in After Effects and the lovely, lovely world of NTSC. My name again is Alan Shishko, Effector.ca. Hope you enjoyed this short little presentation and that it takes a little bit of the mystery out of how to do this thing called motion graphics.